Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, here on November 8th, Wednesday, and almost always we have our midweek update on uranium, and we're going to look at that at the moment. Uranium is looking a bit iffy here, short term, but let's dive into it in just a moment. As always, like, subscribe, comment, good or bad, do you disagree, do you agree, do you see anything different that I see? Please let me know in the comments below so I can learn and you can learn. And yeah, as always, do your own due diligence. And this is just my thoughts on the markets and how I see them in the broader picture. Let's get straight into business here. As always, highly appreciate you for coming back every single time. And I get some great comments in the comment section. So please do not stop. Do not stop doing that ever. URA, you have the list here, 12 charts more or less that we go through 2 times per week. Maybe it's too often. I don't know. Should we do it once a week, like a weekly close, or is midweek update okay? Because sometimes I find the weekly update a bit iffy because it's only 2 trading days and sometimes nothing much has happened. Let me know in the comments below if you want to have it 2 times or if 1 time is enough. I want to make it as good for you guys to enjoy the most. Anyways, URA, as you can see here. Why am I saying that the uranium market looks a bit iffy? Short term, obviously. The reasoning is this pattern right here that I see over and over again, coming into a big top, right? Massive drawdown here into a bear flag. That's very often not a good thing to see. And right now you can see here we're struggling with the lower golden trendline band right there. We are, however, still in our green uptrend channel here after the breakout. So that's for now okay. And in order to really get things going, we have our blue roof, our blue trend line right there. So, however, if we were to do a projection of this move here, then if this plays out that bear flag, you could see something like this. So going down to a tad below 24, which is also aligned with the high, the pivot high over there. So that could be the target for that move if that were to happen. This move down here was the target over here. So you can see every time we are hitting it, we're going down to the next ladder of these highs here, which were very, very key levels to get above. And now they act as support on the way down. So let's see where we're going. But right now on the daily, I hope you can understand why I think this will cave in. That is my projection. And hopefully our green support down here will hold. So we don't get that full measured move down towards the 24. But it is definitely in the cards, and you should be prepared for that move. Already now, I can see that people are hating the sector. So yeah, but let's see where we are in time. The URNM looks a bit different. I want to go to the weekly actually because that's daily can be quite noisy. Why is that so skewed? 1 second, I want to add that into it completely. There it is. Okay. However, URNM looks way better than URA. As you know, URA is 70% uranium and 30% solar and / wind, I think. Or it's only solar, I can't remember. So, and as you know, TAN, the solar ETF, has been killed or getting smacked around a lot lately. That's why it's underperforming URNM. The URNM doesn't look that as bad, to be honest. Still, we have some internal stuff going on here. We have this major run up here, and right now, my guess is that we are in a bull flag. I want to show you actually going back to the daily very quickly. First move down here, not as violent as on the URA, but violent nonetheless. Move up here, so this could be that ABC correction that we're looking for. Same thing again. You can see here this internal bearish wedge has been taken out today actually. So and hopefully we have this double blue band here that will hold together with the bull flag. So yeah, URNM looks better. You can also see actually the chart is still very compelling. We're still a bit stretched from the 30 weekly, but it's coming up nicely here, and you can see here whenever it started to slope up down here as well. We had some big pullbacks at the beginning, but it kept running on for a long time. So hopefully we're in for that move again, and that we are very early. This is the first time, more or less, that we started to curve up here significantly. So hopefully we are somewhere here, and we have a flagpole and a flag into, for now at least, support with the blue double resistance. Support right up here. So still looks long-term all right. However, we could have that move down there for an ABC correction within a bull flag, which if we get there, we will probably go higher again because we are riding the trend right now and the trend is up on the weekly. So not too bad, but still short term, be prepared. Be prepared. At least I am. Same thing here again with the URNJ. I go to the daily here because we only have like half a year, 9 months or so on the URNJ. Again, same move up here again, bull flagging down towards a green support here. So if we are bullish consolidating here and we hit it, hopefully that is the path that we're going. But you have to be a bit patient here. I think we have at least 10 trading days until we get to that part, if we get there, obviously. But we hopefully get that bounce in towards that trend line. You know, one of the most bullish things is that if you have an upsloping trend line, and if you're some sort of flagging into that trend line, you know, that is very, very bullish. You don't want to have that trend line go up and then very hard down into that trend line. It can hold, obviously, but more often than not, you see that short-term momentum break that long-term trend line right here. So you want to have sharp move up and then more or less sideways or slightly down price action into that trend line, which is what we're seeing right here, right there. So still all right, but again, have patience because I don't think that the pullback is over. URN, excuse me, SPUT physical uranium trust, again, major. The chart has just been fantastic ever since. I want to show you, we're still coming into some resistance here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 time touching that. Going to the daily, I want to show you as well. We touched here and we touched here, and we have negative divergence on the RSI. So slowing down here for sure. And what we should hope for is just some sideways chop here, and then we hopefully go higher. You know, negative divergence doesn't mean that we're going to crash down here big time. It just means that the momentum is slowing down and that you are correcting, or you're going into some sideways consolidation more often than not. But let's see here again. If we can, obviously, there's also the possibility of breaking that trend line, and then we will go in for a major move to the upside. But that when and if that happens, then we will look at it. For now, it's major resistance, and it should be treated that way. XLE against the SPX, not the best looking chart, by the way. If you measure energy, which is the XLE against the SPY, we have been looking at this long-term trend line support, and what's happening now? We're breaking down from that and the 30 weekly. That's not ideal, to say the least. Let's zoom in here. Here you have it. There it is, the break on the 30 weekly, which is often massive support. Also, the trend line has been taken out as we speak. Not ideal. And we also, the past few weeks, started to recognize that inverted head and shoulders pattern that we've been looking at. And it seems like it's coming to fruition for now. So what happens when we get down here? We will probably see a bounce. And depending on that bounce, we could go higher, taking out that trend line there, or more often than not, we could also roll over. But let's see how we do. But my path is that we will touch that neckline within the next few weeks, and then we will see how big of a bounce we can get here. If you look at the NVIDIA chart, for example, it also had a similar pattern here, more or less, with a topping pattern, but actually it dipped down and then just came right through again here. So breaking down here, the important part is always the retest of that neckline, confirming it or not. If it rolls over, it's confirmed. If it comes back above, it's negated, and we are probably going higher. XLE against the URNM. As you can see here, this was when URNM just did tremendously well in 2020 into 2021, and we want this ratio to go down. And the name of the game now is, lower lows and lower highs until proven otherwise. So yeah, lower lows, lower highs in favor of URNM, against XLE. But again, XLE breaking down against SPX is not a good sign. We want energies overall to outperform the broader markets, and having XLE breaking down, that's not a good thing for URNM also, because URNM is a part of the energy sector. So it's not ideal. It's not ideal for sure. Here we have URNM divided by the spot price, which is one of the most important ratios to look at. You should do that every week if you're interested in this. And this is basically my take here. And we had our stage 2 breakout here, getting above the 30 weekly. And now we are going for a deeper correction than I thought. I actually thought this blue neckline would hold. It didn't, but now we're just pounding against that long-term golden trend line starting from up here. Yeah, there you have it. And there you have it. And we're just pounding at it here. Hopefully we can get back above the blue neckline, and then the miners should perform very well. But for now, we're still, hopefully it's holding. We don't want it to see going down like this, getting below. And yeah, then we're going in for a deeper correction in the miners against the spot price itself. That's for sure. So we are at a tricky spot here in the short term. But let's see, we are getting, this is the daily, so you can see here it's just getting, we hit it here once, twice, and then a lot of stuff going on here, and then a fourth time here. So hopefully we can start to get back above here at some point in time. But until proven otherwise, we are still just, I wouldn't say retesting, but yeah, we are fighting with that trend line here. And hopefully this is some sort of bull flag. Who knows? URA against the spot price, also a bit different setup here, but still that was a fake out to the upside after we cleared that long-term golden trend line here. And now, as mentioned many times, if you have a false breakout out of any channel, you often visit the lower side of that channel, and we did that exactly here as well. That was the visit here after that false breakout to the upside. Let's go to the daily, so you can see it here. We tagged it to perfection, more or less, right there. And then we can came all the way up and tagged it to perfection here again, and now we're retracing here. So you can see that actually we're coming into the apex at the moment, and that is when things get unstable. And we will see which way we go. But I will say this, a fake out this close to the apex doesn't favor a move afterwards to the upside. So we have to be prepared for a big underperformance by the miners against the Uranium spot price here in the near future. Again, what happens is anyone's guess, but we are coming into a path where we have to find out which way we go here. I do think, however, I want to show you on the monthly, that this is a part of the bigger overall inverted head and shoulders going back 10 years or so, where we have the left, the head, and the right shoulder right there. That's still my case until proven otherwise. You can also see the RSI, low, and higher low once again, which is what you want to see in a inverted head and shoulders. So as long as we keep these levels here, that's actually fine. We cannot get below the head here at roughly 0.28, 29, excuse me. That's, if we do that, it's invalidated, and we're going lower probably. So it's still my case long term that we have a lot more to go, and at some point in time we're going to charge at that neckline up here. But again, it will not happen tomorrow, that's for sure. Anyways, URA against the overall commodities. I want to zoom in here so I don't make you want to go to the daily actually on this one here, because this is where it all happens. You can see here 1, 2, 3. This was our formation until we broke out. We came all the way out here, and then we came into this blue bull flag here, broken out and retesting as we speak. So again, it seems like URA at least is outperforming the overall commodities, which is nice to see. And now we want to take out that triangle high up here at roughly 0.1, maybe not that high, but 0.098 in this ratio. So we can make higher highs here. But this is definitely, on any chart, a bullish take here. Breakout, retest, hopefully resumption. That's the name of the game. You can also see here, I want to show you again, that is more or less always a bullish setup. So let's see what happens again. Nice that URA at least is outperforming overall commodities. URA against the SPY, long term, longish term, a few years here. Still, it favors URA to outperform the SPY still long term. Remember, long term, short term, we can have a bit of more downside. But breaking out of this long pattern here, as you know, we've been following for a long period of time, breaking out here is always bullish. Major higher high. What we're looking at now is how will it go from here and for the next 2 months or so, 6 weeks to 2 months. We have already made 2 pivot highs there. We have the low here. So now we're looking for, is this going to be a lower low and maybe into a bull flag? Let's copy it here just to show you, maybe into some sort of bull flag, or will it find a low around here and then we go into some sort of pennant instead? Any case, for now, major move up, sideways consolidation is always bullish until proven otherwise. And this is what we have here, major move up, sideways action. That is bullish. And we are still above major highs, and 30 weekly is coming up here still. So against the SPY, I think URA next year will perform insanely well unless this caves into the downside, which could happen. But again, for now, it's all bullish. It's all bullish. Longer term, not short term. There can be some iffiness there. Anyways, URA against the NASDAQ. We have this long-term red resistance zone here. You can just see how many times we have been pounding through that level and we can't seem to get through. And that was also the name of the game here. And now what we're looking at, going to the daily. Again, here we have a major move up, and hopefully we have some sideways consolidation and then we break out. Again, same thing as before. We want to find that fourth connection here. So it could be a bull flag if we get that connection down here, or if this stops here, for example, then we have the pennant. But anyways, sideways action after such a massive run up here is always bullish. Or of course we can, let's say we do like this, then obviously that's off the table straight away. That's bearish. But for now, sideways action, bullish. Remember that sideways action after a major move up, always bullish until proven otherwise. And yeah, when and if we take out that red zone here, then URA will outperform the NASDAQ for a very long period of time. That's for sure. You can just see why here. Stage 4 decline, stage 1, and then hopefully stage 2. That's what we're waiting for. So Bitcoin, good old bitty Bitcoin, long term. You know, we have this line here that we really want to break through, and we just can't seem to do it, because when and if that happens, that is when URA will outperform Bitcoin. And I really want to have uranium outperform the best performing assets for the past 10 years. That would be insane. However, I want to show you that we tagged it here, rejection, and then we came all the way down, performing or creating this bearish trumpet, bearish expanding wedge, whatever you want to call it. Oh, my nose is itching, excuse me. And we are at that low right now. Actually, if you want to zoom really far in, we are right at that, give or take. Let's do it like this, give or take. So we are at that lower trend line of this smaller time frame. It's actually 1 year, but still a half a year, but a lower time frame. We want to see that bounce here now. We don't want to see that breaking lower. Obviously, that means that URA have a good risk of underperforming against Bitcoin. So yeah, let's see what happens here again. But I do expect some sort of bounce here. We are somewhat stretched here from the moving averages, so I would expect a bounce here. But the question is do we roll over later on in time? Let's see. Yes, uranium spot price against silver, a good measure. Again, long term, looks fantastic. Looks absolutely beautiful. Massive 10, 13-year long inverted head and shoulders triggered right there. To the upside, measured move is somewhere at around 9, and we are at 3, meaning that according to the pattern here, uranium spot price will outperform by, 2x, going from 3 to 9 against silver. And I think silver will do very well. So until proven otherwise, until we break below the neckline, that is the path of least resistance, in my view. Long term. However, short term, same thing here again. You could see that this is the first move down, and then we will visit that neckline, which we very, very often see. You know, long-term patterns often going in for that big retest of that major breakout trend line, and I think we will see that here as well. So we still have some way to go, like, what is that, 10% or so in this ratio. So yeah, that is still something that I'm very much prepared for. And but for now, you can see here again, there could be a short-term bull flag. So who knows? Exact same thing against gold. I want to zoom out here. You've seen it before. Long-term, nothing has changed. Massive inverted head and shoulders triggered this September, like a month ago, give or take. September, October, excuse me, 2 months ago, my bad. And again, massive surge to the upside here. Major move. That's a big move. And again, now we want some sideways consolidation, and then we go higher. I don't think we will just go higher from here. That's not often what you see. You often see some sideways chop, and then we go higher. Again, testing that neckline would make perfect sense from a technical point of view. So yeah, I do expect that, or at least I'm very much prepared for it. And so yeah, that is all actually. A bit further or a bit more than I wanted to talk about, but still, short term, I think we could be in for some pain, 10%, maybe 15% in the ETFs. But I think long term, the patterns are still bullish, but it takes some time, obviously. So sorry to not being able to say that this is, oh, let's go higher from here. I don't see that at the moment in the charts, at least in the ETFs. And also we have broken down against the SPX, not ideal. So it is a bit long-term, good, short-term, I think I have made myself clear. I just, as always, I try to show the charts as I see them. Again, I'm a big uranium bull and I want uranium to go higher. That's my bias, but I'm trying to be as honest as possible, really. That's just the way I think is the best way to go if you want to succeed in this very, very complex game of technical analysis. I will stop rambling here. Have a good one, guys, and we will see you in the next one, hopefully. And please do comment below, by the way, if you want to have it 2 times per week or once, because I want to make the best. I want to give you the best experience of what I do. Cheers, guys.